Hello, today we're going to talk about dividing multi-digit numbers. It is important to understand and know what the vocabulary is for this lesson. Best way to understand the vocabulary is by breaking down a problem. In this problem, we have 125 being divided by 25 to get an answer of 5. 125 is the dividend. It is the dividend because 125 is the total amount that we're trying to divide or break up. 25 would be the divisor, simply because 25 is the amount that we're trying to fit into the dividend. The solution, 5, is what we call the quotient. There are 5 steps to dividing multi-digit numbers. Step 1 is to actually divide. Step 2 would be to multiply. And we're going to discuss steps 1 and 2 in detail in the examples later to come. Step 3 would be subtract. Step 4, check. That means check to see how much, if anything, is left over or remainders. Step 5, bring down the next digit. Once you have done all 5 steps, you may have to repeat this process over until you have no remainders left or until your remainder is less than your divisor. There is a saying that we use to help us remember these steps. Does McDonald's sell cheeseburgers? If you notice, each letter in this saying, does McDonald's sell cheeseburgers, is the same letter of the 5 steps of dividing multi-digit numbers. So let's look at an example together. Here we have 425 as the dividend, and it is being divided by 25, which is the divisor. First thing I need to do is set up this problem for long division. 425 divided by 25. So now we're going to go to step 1, which divide. You look at the first digit in your dividend, it's 4. Obviously 25 cannot go into 4, so we're going to go back 1 digit, and now we have 42. Now 25 can go into 42 one time. Now we're going to go to step 2, which is to multiply. You're going to multiply the solution you just came up with by 25, and we get 25. Step 3, subtract. 42 minus 25, I'm going to borrow, carry it over, and I have 17. And then finally, step 5, bring down the next digit. In this case, the next digit is a 5 to give me 175. Now, since I had a digit to bring down and I have something left over, that means I now need to repeat steps 1 through 5, except this time I'm doing 175 divided by 25. That would be 7. 7 times 25, so we're now on step 2, 175. Step 3, subtract. Step 4, check. There's nothing left over. Step 5, bring down the next number. There's nothing to bring down. Therefore, the solution or the quotient is 17. Let's look at one more example together because it may not always turn out as neat as the first example. You might have some trickier problems. For example, 3,342 divided by 13. First thing we're going to do is divide. Obviously, 13 can't go into 3, but it does go into 33 2 times. So now we're going to multiply 2 times 13, 26. Step 3, subtract. 33 minus 26 would be 7. Step 4, check. Yes, 7 is smaller than 13, but we also have a step 5, which is to bring down the next number. Now 74 is larger, which means we're going to continue by going back to step 1 and dividing. 74 divided by 13 is 5. 5 times 13, 65. Now it's time for step 3. Subtract, borrow, carry it over. 9. Yes, 9 is smaller than 13, but you check to see if there's another digit to bring down, and there is, which leads me to step 5. Bring down the next digit. Now, 92 is larger than 13, which means we now have to go back and do step 1 all over again. 92 divided by 13 is 7. 7 times 13 is 91. Step 3, subtract to get 1. Step 4, check. Yes, what I am left with is less than 13. But you also check to see if there's another digit to bring down. There is not. In this case, you have something called a remainder. Now, some of us may be used to writing R1. Not in this case. I would like for us to get used to writing our remainders as a fraction. So what we have left over is 1. We were dividing by 13. Therefore, the quotient, 257 and 1/13.